Hey, this is Blake from the Gig Harbor Fly Shop, and today we're going to be tying up the Ghost Bugger, and this little variation of a popular Puget Sound fly was come up by one of our shop guys, Dave, and super cool little fly. I love how he ties it, and I'm going to go over the material list for you. I'm sure it would catch freshwater trout as well, but man, this thing out in the Sound is great for cutthroat. This last fall, we actually hooked quite a few coho on this as well, and even a few chums. So it's pretty versatile. Today I'm going to be tying on an Ahrex, the Ahrex traditional shrimp hook, and this hook is the NS156, and so this is just a little size 10 that I'm tying on, but I think size 8 is probably the sweet spot for this particular pattern. If you're going to tie it on a Daiichi hook like the 2546, I would just tie it on the size 6. With the cone heads we're just using a small in nickel finish. And for the materials, we have two materials for the tail. There's going to be a ripple ice shrimp, ripple ice fiber in shrimp pink, and then a white marabou on the tail. And then on the body, we're going to use two different colors of dubbing. We're going to start with a pearl ice dub, and then we're going to transition that to a UV shrimp pink ice dub. And I'm just using this out of just out of the steelhead ice dispenser, and it's got the colors I need in there. And then one of the things that Dave does is just hits a 1.5 turns of Grande UV Estes, and then that's it. He also likes to put a little bit of red around for the throat on it, just with like a little bit of red thread. So you can use dubbing and get it inside the back of the cone, or you could use thread. Whatever you prefer, but we're going to go through it step by step. Materials are in the description below, and you can get a material kit. Make sure you leave a comment, ask questions. We'd love to hear from you, and let's go step by step through the fly. Normally on a woolly bugger, you tie in the tail right above the barb before it starts to bend, but on this this shrimp hook that has this bend to it, we're going to start actually way up the hook quite a bit. That's the way Dave does it. It's good enough for Dave, it's good enough for all of us. Okay, for the marabou, Dave likes to use that wispy material from those longer fibers and on the sides. So just like let it sit on the hook and kind of wiggle it, so it just kind of lets that material all slide around. And then you don't want that tail to be too long. Okay, I'm going to start with my dubbing, and I'm going to start with a really thin rope of dubbing on here, and then I can add more dubbing on top of that to give it body. But if you just put a bunch of it all on at once, it doesn't really lock on there very well. So this will kind of create a little bit more integrity with your dubbing rope. I'm going to back up over it just a little bit, and then tying my shrimp pink dubbing. Not using a lot here. And Dave likes to use the Grande UV Estes, and this comes in two different lengths. I think the one I have right here is just the regular, so I wish I had the slightly longer fiber, but and then he just does 1.5 wraps. That's it, just a little collar on it. if you have some red dubbing, you could fill in the back of that comb with just a little bit of red dubbing. And but I think what Dave does is I think he just uses some red thread and just gives it a little bit of a throat. Just so it's barely showing. Okay, there it is. There's Dave's little ghost bugger. This thing is great for sea run cutthroat trout, but we've had some great luck this last year as well on big coho and chums. You can get materials down below. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of videos coming out, and want to make sure that you stay updated with all that stuff. And thanks for joining us. Hope you're catching some fish out on flies that you're tying off the beach.